Putin just made a nuclear threat towards the West in a recent federal Russian assembly. This is extremely alarming, and so let us discuss the current climate in Europe, why Putin made this threat, and the broader implications of this threat. So, for some background regarding this, on the 26th of February, French President Emmanuel Macron, in a gathering of European leaders in Paris, stated that the possibility of sending Western troops into Ukraine cannot be ruled out. This statement was made in the context of discussing strategies to support Ukraine in its conflict with Russia, which has entered its third year. Macron emphasized the need for Europe to consider all options to ensure Russia does not win the war in Ukraine. He highlighted the lack of consensus among European leaders on the issue of deploying ground troops, but insisted that nothing should be excluded. Now skip ahead a couple of days, we go to Russia. We are on the 29th of February. Putin spoke up at a Russian annual assembly in which he talked about the ongoing Ukraine conflict, stating that the Russian forces were advancing in multiple places, and that Russia needs to boost the troops on the western borders after Sweden and Finland joined NATO. However, it is what he said in response to Macron's comments is what really is shocking. See, Putin said, quote, "Western nations must realize that we also have weapons that can hit targets on their territory. All this really threatens a conflict with the use of nuclear weapons and the destruction of civilization. Don't they get that?" This statement has come at a time when the war in Ukraine has already strained Moscow's relations with the West to levels not seen since the Cuban Missile Crisis. Putin's warnings reflect a deepening confrontation and raises concerns about the possibility of direct NATO-Russia engagement. This is also not the first time Putin has made reference to nuclear strikes, as he had previously mentioned that if NATO got involved, they would face, quote, "consequences that you have never experienced in your history." Russia has also said that they have staged some tactical nuclear warheads in Belarus, one of Russia's closest companions. However, this statement made at the assembly is the first time that the threat has been so literal. This threat, alongside his other comments about his newly modernized nuclear arsenal, could have serious implications on the war and the greater geopolitical landscape. It also puts NATO in a weird spot where, even if Macron's comments were unpopular, which they were, Putin's response has shown that the possible intervention with NATO troops to be off the table, at least for now. However, at the same time, the international community is concerned that the precedent made is that any nuclear state will be able to invade whoever they want, and if anyone tries to interfere, they can pull the "I will nuke you" card. Now, regardless of what you think about the war, I think everyone can agree no one wants a nuclear war, especially against Russia, who has the most amount of nukes in the world. So that was the threat that Putin made in the assembly. It will be interesting to see how the leaders of the world respond to this over the coming weeks. And so let me know what you think about the situation in the comment section below. And as always, I'll see you next time.